Join Mike and I as we share our wins, our struggles, and the lessons we've learned while raising a family, a business, and trying to stay married. Tune in and laugh with us while we dive into the real, raw, and often hilariously awkward realities. Welcome to our podcast. This is Date Night Podcast. I'm Andrea Jeffery.
I'm Mike Jeffery.
And together we own Jeffery Design Studio. We're a design build firm located in downtown Livermore in California. We'd love to service really anywhere. If a client believes in our mission and sees eye to eye on what we stand for in the design and construction world, then we want to talk.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's actually been a bit since we've recorded a session. And we've been sick through the holidays and it just got really crazy and busy. But some of the topics that we're going to go over tonight, let me read my handy dandy note, is kind of our business focus. We're going to start there tonight. Like what our new projects or ventures are, updating on some of the projects we've been talking about. And then we're going to go into like a question session. And then, of course, I think everyone's least favorite moment is the game segment of Would You Rather?
Here we go.
Here we go. So let's talk about new projects or ventures. What have we been working on and what are the changes?
So on the construction side, things have progressed very rapidly, I will say, from the start of the year. Let's see, how many current projects do we have going? We have 3 with a 4th and a 5th
coming
starting next week.
All in various phases. Some about ready to close out of construction.
Yep. A kitchen remodel that we're kind of getting on the tail end of.
That one's been fun.
Yeah, it's nice to see kind of everything come together all the way from the beginning, from design all the way through implementation and construction. Challenges that have kind of come up here and there and how we've worked them out.
Yeah.
And, I saw the client today. I think they're happy.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
It's, So some of the new projects or like ventures that we're doing. So we're deciding, we opened up retail in our old location. One, it was very difficult to get out of the lease. It's up this November. We're actually deciding to close it. So I'll call that a new venture because I had an itch. I scratched it for retail. Don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't have time, don't have the bandwidth, don't have the capacity to keep retail going because it takes so much. So we're closing that so that we can focus more on growing the design build side of things and really honing this in to change the industry. That's the whole focus. I feel very renewed. And new projects, we have quite a bit in the pipeline. Right now we're booked until probably May or June to start new design projects. We have a lot of full house renovations and additions in the pipeline that are just kind of starting design. There's some medium-sized projects and there's some smaller projects. But one thing that I think we've decided as far as, I won't call it a new venture, but it's a change, is we've decided we're no longer going to take on just individual room projects. If you have 2 bathrooms or you have a kitchen and a couple of bathrooms, or if you have a family room and a kitchen or a dining and a kitchen, we're taking those projects on. But if it's just like a 5x10 bathroom, what we've realized is because it takes the same amount of time that it does for a full house, really. I know it doesn't sound like it should, but it's the same process no matter how big or small the project is, and we still give that experience. So we've decided we're not capable of doing that kind of project and providing the level of service that we would expect to provide because it actually costs us to do that kind of project rather than, benefiting anybody really. So we've decided it's just not in the best interest of us or the clients to do that. So I've been working on making relationships with other designers in the area that I know love those so that we can start referring.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I mean, if it doesn't make sense for us to do it, then it definitely doesn't make sense for the client to proceed with us for those single room projects.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has to be not necessarily a minimum, but kind of a minimum scope, I would say.
Yeah, minimum scope.
Yep.
Is the right way to put it. I'm learning the word no. That's new. I'm going to call that a new venture because that's really hard for me. No. Just doesn't roll well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's hard. I'm a people pleaser. I want to say yes to everybody and I want to make everybody happy, but it's gotten me into a lot of trouble in the past.
You can't always do that. It's gonna burn you out. It's gonna burn the team out. I mean,
yeah. And if I can't fulfill on something I promise, I really need to learn to say no.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. So with all of this happening, we still have projects in the works. We still have projects going on. We're still working on the company to change this industry a little bit and just show the different ways to do it. And we have the projects that are under construction that we've been working the last year to design, or the last, 6 to 10 months to design. We've got the project you visited today, that's close to getting, wrapped up. We're in the detail side of things, like the cabinet company is doing their second trip on Monday to do all the toe kicks and detail out the under cabinet lighting and all of that. Yep. I'm really excited to see that detail come to life because of how we're routering recessed under cabinet outlet strips into finished panels under the cabinet so that when you look underneath, you're no longer looking at raw cabinetry.
Yeah.
We have another one that is also a kitchen renovation and primary bath renovation. And that one is getting cabinets next Wednesday. Texture went up yesterday. What else is happening over there? I think templating is happening late next week too for countertops.
Yep.
We have the lab inspection tomorrow. Yep. We're going to pop by there in the morning and take a look at things. That one's been going really well. They had some painting happen in other areas of the house yesterday. Yep. So
things are coming together over there.
We have another one that is pretty much a gut job. She's going to get a whole new house.
Yeah.
So the big, I think it was just shy of a 30-foot beam at the main peak of the house went in today.
Yeah.
And I got on Liz because I told her to take pictures and videos of that in the future. Let's see. HVAC is coming in to do a whole new system and all new ducting. I think he's been working on that.
Yep. Underfloor plumbing has happened. It's already been inspected, signed off. Once they get all the underfloor stuff complete, subfloor installed, then we can continue framing.
Yeah.
And kind of reworking the walls in the primary bedroom and the hall bath.
Yeah, in the kitchen.
In the kitchen area.
One of the things that we're going to be implementing, starting with this project and all future projects, no matter the scale, is going out there and mapping out all of our wall locations, our plumbing locations, outlet locations, all the cabinetry layouts, window framing locations from demo so that we can really create that visual of what is going to happen on the project. And it can also tell us from just after demo, before we get into the project really, of, okay, here's our design, here's our plan, here's our intent, here's what nobody could have foreseen during demo. Is everything still aligned? Is it all still going to work out as planned? Usually does. Where there's a will, there's a way. But we're going to start mapping that out so that we can really showcase not only to ourselves, but to our designers, to our trades, to the clients, where everything's supposed to line up. And so when the electrician comes in, there's no question of which stud bay we want that outlet in, and what height we want it, and where we want to penetrate for low voltage, and everything so that we can bury everything that we want to bury as far as looks nice and clean once the project's done.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be good. I mean, that in conjunction with, our elevations and all that to have like a secondary visual to go off of, more on the finish side, and then have it laid out kind of like on the raw side on the, what do you want to call it? On the rough side.
On the rough side.
Yeah. Kind of things.
Yeah. We do different elevations for every trade. So the framer has their own.
Yep.
Plumber, electrician has their own. So we call out all the rough locations, but it's every well-planned thing is going to have modifications in the field. So really figuring out what those modifications are from day one is just going to set us up for success.
Yep.
And it means less change orders for the client.
Less change orders, less questions from, the different subs that we're working with, less gray areas. It's all spelled out.
Yeah. Yeah. And these projects, I would say on a style basis, go from little transitional. We've got, they're clean, light, bright, airy, but they've got a pop of green on their island. A nice modern subway backsplash is going in. I think it's starting next week because counters are getting in on Tuesday. And then we have two very mid-century at the same time with a lot of color. And I'm really excited to see those two come together with all the finishes in, because it's just nice to be able to do a true mid-century.
Yeah.
And I'm calling it, and she already knows this, the Sherbert bathroom, where we've got Sherbert orange walls. It's going to be bright, but I think the concrete sink is coming tomorrow, which is making everybody a little nervous because it should be on a pallet. It should be pretty heavy, and it has to stay here until we're ready to get it there.
Okay.
And it's concrete.
All right. Hopefully we have a good delivery driver.
Yeah, I hope so. We usually try to bribe them into taking the pallets, but we might have to keep the pallet for this one.
Well, I'm saying to get it in here.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah. It'll be fine.
It's all going to work out.
Yep.
Yeah. We haven't had too many challenges on these jobs. I mean, the one that you went to today, I think the main challenge is just getting, was reusing their floor. I think that was the main challenge.
Yeah.
And kind of floating in the existing to new, because it's been some time since they bought it. They scoured the U.S. to try to find more square footage.
Yep.
And in the midst, there's different dye lot, and I think the manufacturer changed the finish. So we're kind of working with both, but we had to make it work.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's something to keep in mind for anybody listening. If you get flooring, or you want to order flooring for an existing house, it might be difficult to get something 100% the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
Always expect that there's going to be variations, because you're working with dye lots during COVID and after COVID, and we're still kind of seeing this. Mills are changing. So if you go from a mill in the U.S. to like an Italian mill or vice versa, that texture, the color, the sheen, the nominal size, so that's the actual size of that product, they're all going to be different.
Yeah, even the way they kind of join together could be a little bit askew.
Yeah.
So yeah, all things to think about.
All things to think about. And let's say you're doing a project and you figure out your square footage and you order it, and then the next week your tile guy comes in and he says, or your floor guy, you don't have enough, and you call to order again. Always ask the question, is it the same dye lot?
Yeah.
This is the dye lot that I got. It's always on your box. Ask for the same dye lot if they still have some of that run, because otherwise it could be more yellow. It could be more pink. It could have the different like brown hue to it. It's not going to match. And then you're going to be in a whole other world of hurt.
Yeah.
So good tip. Good tip. The other challenge is, so we went in yesterday after the flooring was installed, and you and I didn't like, and the client didn't like either, that two of those planks were put right in the main path, front and center. It's the first thing you see. So we talked about it behind the scenes and with our sub, our flooring installer, and we all decided together and agreed it doesn't look good. It's not a good look. We don't want to leave it for them. So at no cost to the client, we're swapping them out.
Yep.
So even if they didn't see it, I would have just said, we need to swap them out because I wouldn't have been happy with that.
Yeah. No, my eye picked up on it right away. And, it's something that needed to get addressed. And, that just goes to the type of service that we want to provide for our clients.
Well, and we were talking about it this morning, I think, while we were getting ready. And I asked us both, what level of attention to detail and quality do we want to showcase? And that has to be asked at every step of the road. It really has to.
Oh, yeah. Not only finish, but I mean, in the framing stage. I mean, if our framing guys aren't building the walls true, I mean, that's going to translate to sheetrock. That's going to translate to cabinetry. It's going to have like a ripple effect. So, that quality control starts day one on the job. Yeah, absolutely.
And what do we always say? Clean job site is a happy job site.
That's right.
That's right. If you're not broom swept at the end of the day, you've got problems. So one of the questions is, what's new in interior design and construction business? AI is huge in design now. And just being implemented in the back end of construction, project management wise, which is kind of interesting. I haven't dove into it yet. Is that the right?
Same here.
Tense,
Delved.
I don't think delved is a word.
No? Okay.
Is it? I don't know. You guys tell us. I haven't dove into AI because I have no idea what I'm doing. It's tech.
Fair point.
I'm afraid to go down a rabbit hole and then some person in another country all of a sudden has my bank information.
Well, that would suck.
I had gone on to one. Trey's laughing at us. It's fine. I had gone on to one and it was like this. I don't remember the name of it. But I was playing around with floor plans, right? I wanted to do this new house floor plan and I just wanted to see what the AI program would do because it was new. And I did my matrix and I said, I want my kitchen next to the dining room and I want a great room and I want 4 bedrooms and I want a 3-car garage. And these are the rooms that I want all of these next to. I want a hallway that's this wide, blah, blah, blah. And every single time it put the garage in the middle of the house and you'd have to get through a 3-foot door to get to the garage.
That's bizarre.
Every single time. And then that was the free version. And so to get the paid version to do a 30-day trial or whatever, it took me to this other app to log in that seemed to have no relation to that AI app. And I was just trying to create a login and it had 50 million questions and then it kept bouncing around and I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
I don't know.
I'm done.
That sounds kind of fishy.
It seemed fishy, but apparently that's the thing.
That's it. That's how it goes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest change I think in our industry right now is just integrating AI. I was talking to another designer and she shared with me her 3D rendering that she did with AI. And you just give it, the description of the room style, the colors, what you want in the room and how you want it to design. And there's specific prompts that you can give it to create your rendering. They do look very realistic, but you still have pillows floating in the ether things like that. So it's going to come along quite a ways and it may even replace Pinterest in a way, because we use Pinterest for visions for clients and styles and tones and things like that. And we put our vision boards together and have meetings about it. But if we can then go to AI and say, this is their style, this is what we want.
Blend all this together kind of thing.
Then we could create vision rooms to talk about vision with our clients from day one instead of going to Pinterest.
At what point though does that take the designer away from the design?
I could see it doing it pretty rapidly, but then you still have
I don't know.
to
I don't
source
like
the
it.
materials.
Yeah.
You still have to do all that. You still have to draw out how it's going to be built. You still have to detail it out. So it can't take that away. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, maybe not right now.
I know.
Ugh, it's scary.
I know.
I don't like it.
I know. But could you imagine a robot building your house or putting your plumbing in?
Nope. Mm-mm. I mean, seems like it's inevitable at some point, though.
I don't know. You still have that human factor, you know, of like troubleshooting and problem solving. And like I said before, everything well planned is going to have modifications needed.
Yeah.
So does that robot now make his own modifications? Or her?
No. Very well could.
Sketchy.
Yeah.
I'm still a firm believer that, God, what's that movie?
Terminator.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-mm. Oh,
no, but instead of like all the robots from
Yeah.
Terminator, it's going to be all the Teslas.
Just all going to show up at our house
I
one
know.
day. Oh my gosh.
You know, that's what goes on in my head. It's fine. Out of all of this that we've been working on and we're doing, and what would you say some of our accomplishments could be, or highlights?
Highlights. I mean, anytime we come across a client who is excited about what's going on in their house. I mean, every time we're at the kitchen project with a primary bath and we see the excitement in their face, that's a huge accomplishment. Mm-hmm. Today, when I was at our kitchen project, the client was happy, was ecstatic, you know? So to have your house like completely overrun by us, but still be, you know, thrilled about it
or semi-enjoyed.
Yeah. That's like a huge success, I would say, for sure.
I agree.
Yeah.
I talk to a lot of people because I talk a lot, and I've heard a lot of stories of like just negative experiences with, you know, people in our industry. Mm-hmm. We were at a project, and she was talking about, you know, we were at a consultation. She was talking about how she had started a project with somebody and they were going to move into the next phase, and just the communication style, and, you know, this person jumped the gun on assuming things, and it just wasn't working out, and they had to part ways before the rest of the project started. And, you know, they were still willing to hire somebody else to come in and design it and do the project, but what she was telling me just kind of left a sour taste in my mouth, because it happens so frequently in our industry for various reasons. And I so want to change that, because if it's not for our clients, we don't have a job.
Yeah,
I think that is sorely forgotten. And if it's not for communicating, the clients don't know what we're doing. The clients don't see what we're doing behind the scenes. They don't understand why we might be, you know, placing something somewhere in their house, because it's not what they do every day.
Right.
And so they should be able to ask questions. They should be able to, you know, inquire about something. And if they ask a question, don't just immediately assume it's a negative thing.
Yeah. See you later. Night.
Don't immediately assume that it's a negative thing, right? Like, just be open-minded to the fact that your client wants to communicate with you. And that's a good thing.
Yeah.
The more you communicate, the better your relationship is going to be. The more you can have lunch with your clients in the future. Yeah. Or, like, just enjoy your clients.
Maintain that relationship after the project is done.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you immediately think that, oh, this client's going to be a pain, they're going to ask all these questions, they want to know everything, they're super involved. Well, if you don't want that client, I'll take it. Yeah. Because that means that they care, they're intrigued, they're thinking, and they're just naturally wanting to know that you're doing a good job.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's why we have our slogan on the back, right?
Oh yeah, changing the way we build together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we want to do.
I had to read it.
Yeah.
Forgot for a second. I know.
Yeah, that's what we want to do. We want to make, have the transparency, and we want to make it an enjoyable experience so that they'll then refer us to their friends and their family. And, that if it wasn't, like you said, if it wasn't for them, we'd be out of a job.
I can't afford us. I can't afford you.
That's right.
Can't afford me. And I barely spend money. I have like 2 pairs of shoes. But yeah, it's okay. And it really, really, really irritates me when, I hear those stories, because it could be so different.
Yeah.
And, it starts from the initial consultation. It starts from the initial call. And I used to tell people I would do this for free if I could, but I knew we had bills to pay. And we have kids that eventually want to go to school and a mortgage and dogs that need dog food.
Yeah.
But, it's really important to me it feels like my calling to let people know that this industry could be friendly. Mm-hmm. We're not here to take all your money. We're not here to just have you sign and then we never want to talk to you again. We start the hard conversations from the beginning so that if there is a hard conversation coming down the road, it's okay. It's comfortable to have.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like a conversation like you and I are having. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. So, it's not dead yet. Still here. Yeah, I think that's a huge accomplishment, is just even through the project almost done, we still have happy clients.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure they're ready for us to be out of their house.
Well,
but they're not, yelling at us. It's a positive. Okay. So, questions time. You ready?
Shoot.
Okay. Question number 1. How do you separate work and personal life when running a business together, or is it all blended at this point? Oh, I think I go home cross-eyed.
Yeah. I think with the construction side still in its infancy, I mean, we're so vested and so involved in it right now, it does just kind of blend together. Mm-hmm. But I mean, today it's like we had a nice drive out to downtown Oakland, and it was a chance for us to just kind of like be ourselves. And it was like a little mini date,
It was. We had lunch together. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was quite nice.
So, yeah, I mean, even though we're, super swamped, we come home completely exhausted, we still find time for us, for the kids, for all the animals that we have running around through our house.
I love my babies.
Yeah. So
very hard to not wake up with a kink with Libby, though.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it right now it's kind of hard to find that balance, but I think, I think it's only going to get better. Is how I see it.
I'm feeling very refreshed with our trajectory because we've worked through a lot of challenges last year. And we have a lot of really great things happening this year. So I'm really excited. I don't know what I would do if I didn't work all the time. But I love that we're starting to introduce some of the hobbies that we had when we first started dating. And I'm excited to actually take time for those. I'm finding myself excited for that. Whereas before, I wouldn't be excited to do those things because I was so like honed in on just so doing focused, this. Yeah. And then I always felt guilty if I took 5 minutes from the studio while the team is still working. I have that guilt factor happening of, well, I can't go out to lunch. They're working. So what am I going to do? I look lazy at that point. So I'm slowly trying to get over that fact. I know that it's okay to take some time to eat. It's okay to not work 7 days a week. It's okay to go out on the weekend and do something or go away for a couple of days. It's still difficult. Still bring my laptop, but
Yeah. But we're working through it.
come home. We talk about things about the project. I'm always on the phone with Liz. Yep. I think she and I are on the phone more than you and I are on the phone, and she's
Quite
on the
possibly.
phone with her husband.
Yep.
Yeah.
That I can see that.
Yeah. But it's a work in progress. We still, make time to talk about other things.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Question number 2. What's the biggest mistake people make when designing their home, and how can they fix it?
That's a you question.
That's a me question.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Biggest mistake people make is not having a plan first, I think, or a budget. So you can call any contractor and they'll come over. They'll walk with you through, you talking through what you want to do. You show them around your house. You say, I want to do this. Here's my focus. They're going to interpret that. They might ask you some questions. They might be there for an hour. They might be there for 5 minutes, but they're going to go away and they're going to give you an estimate. You're going to sign that estimate, and then they're going to want to start your project. They're going to get you in with, whoever. They're going to tell you where you need to go to buy materials. Now, if you bring 3 contractors in and you do that, you're going to get 3 widely different estimates. Right? You're going to get some that include materials. You're going to get some that don't. And you're going to get one that's missing a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And maybe they asked you questions that the other contractors didn't ask you. And so you answered those questions for that guy, but the other contractors don't know that detail. So this guy may have a very robust estimate that includes everything, but these guys are missing that, and you don't know that.
Yeah.
So you sign an estimate, you're locked into this, and now you're change ordered through the roof. You're frustrated because they're frustrated. You guys aren't meshing well, and it just didn't get off on the right foot, right? You should never sign a construction estimate without having a design and a plan and your materials selected, because even the installation pattern can change.
Oh, yeah.
The cost of installation. And so I think a lot of people get really excited. They think the first person they need to call is a contractor. And this is why we have business the way we do. You sign a design contract first. We go through however long it takes. We'll give you a schedule. And we tell you it's up to you on how fast you can make decisions. But then you don't sign a construction estimate with us until you're locked in. You've got your entire design detailed out. We have your permit plans about 90% complete.
Yep.
Structural's done. Title 24 is done. Everything is collected. Construction and design are on the same team. They understand what's happening. And then you sign the construction contract.
Yeah.
And then your only change orders are due to completely unforeseen challenges once we open the wall, or directed by you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest mistake people make.
Yeah. So, long story short, hire a designer. A design build.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A designer or a design build. And if you find a team that's separate, maybe we're not the right team for you, or maybe another design build team's not right for you, and you find a separate designer and contractor, go with the designer first.
Yep.
And ask them pertinent questions, and ask them if they have contractors they've made good relationships with that they work with all the time.
Yep.
Because what I see happen a lot is contractors that don't have design in-house will sometimes, or usually, not want to work with designers because we make it more challenging. We're pains in the asses. It's fine. We have opinions, and we're going to give them to you. But a lot of contractors don't like that.
Yeah.
Or a lot of designers don't like the contractor's opinions. So they don't mesh well. So you want to ask them the question, do you have a contractor or contractors you work with all the time that you work with on multiple projects?
Yep.
And how long have you been working with them? If it's your first project together, chances are you're going to miscommunicate, and it's not going to go well.
Exactly.
Which we've had.
Yeah.
And it's never great for the client.
Yeah. And that's the root of why we decided to implement construction.
Yep.
So.
Third question. It might be directed to me.
Let's see. Oh gosh, what did I do? Okay. Would you rather have...
No,
oh wait,
that's
no,
not it.
that's the game one. Sorry. How do you design a space that truly reflects your personality and lifestyle rather than just following trends?
Ooh, that's a good one. Ask yourself a lot of questions. So there's an age-old question, form over function or function over form. I start with function and then I go to form. Because what I realized the other day talking to somebody, I can make any space pretty. How can I make it functional for my lifestyle? So ask yourself, or just list out while you're in your home or in the space you want to design. List out all the functions you need in that space. Detail out everything you need that space to do for you and where you would prefer it located. If you're talking about a kitchen, and this works for offices, it works for bathrooms, it works for bedrooms, it works for closets. Ask yourself, am I left-handed or right-handed? If I have a dishwasher on my left, is it going to feel natural to turn my hips to the left, or do I have a hip problem? Maybe I want it on the right. So don't design something that's going to make you give you pain. Design something that's going to assist your life, right?
Yeah, make it easier.
Right. Yeah. Ask yourself or list out the things that you need to store in that space. If it's a kitchen, where's your knife block? Where are your utensils going? What about your coffee mugs? Are you a hoarder to coffee mugs? Get specific on that one. Hoarder to coffee mugs. Like, how much space do I need to store my plethora of coffee mugs or my booze cabinet? Or do I have cigars I want to store?
Whatever
or
the case may
do I
be.
have records that I want to store?
Yeah.
And if I have records, like for a record player, where do I want my record player stored? Do I want it stored right at my records, or do I want it over here where it's front and center and displayed nicely and then I have to walk? And if I'm walking, what's my walking path? And that's where space planning comes in.
Yeah.
But you're going to start with that detailed list of what your absolute needs are. Then you're going to create your wish list. And then you're going to create, if money were no object, these are the things that I would want added. And then you can get into aesthetics after you do that.
Yeah.
Aesthetics are the easy part. Anything can look great. But when you're in the space and the space looks great, but it doesn't function for you and it makes your life more difficult, you're not going to like the space.
Yeah.
You're not going to want to be in
You're
it.
not going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So ask yourself those questions, dig deep. It's okay. We do this with all of our clients, but we do it in a multi-step process and we do it in chunks so it's not so much at once. Just take your time, create a Google Doc or do a notes on your phone and just list out. And as you're driving, if something comes up, just do voice to text on your phone. Don't hold your phone. You'll
Jot
get a
it
ticket.
down. Yeah.
And just jot it down and give yourself some time and some grace. Don't do it just in one day because you have an appointment with someone tomorrow. I'd say that's the biggest thing.
I like it.
Yeah.
Let's see this one.
Can we do one more of those questions and then the game?
Yes,
Yeah?
ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, here, I'll pick the last question then. Okay. Well, this one is definitely geared to you, but
More talking.
yeah, that's good. What are some upcoming design trends you love and a few you think are overhyped?
Ooh, okay. Modern farmhouses overhyped. It's not happening anymore. Kind of that hip mid-century is overhyped, where it's like all like color washed and it's like boho style.
I don't know what that means.
Minimalistic, warm but cold. What else is out? Cool tones are out. Like even a warm gray isn't happening right now. What's coming back is maximalism. So lots of different patterns and textures kind of thrown up in a space. I do think do it tastefully. Don't do it too much. Warm tones, like, okay, white oak has been a thing for a couple of years now.
Yep.
Where it's kind of this whitewashed white oak. But now those warmer colors are coming back, those warmer woods. So like walnuts and almost like an ash wood kind of style are coming back. Tassels are now back. Skirts on your sofas and your chairs are back. Plaids our back.
I don't like plaid.
I love plaid. Tanya doesn't like plaid either, and it frustrates me. What else? I think that's really it. Even if it's a contemporary space, they're still warming it up and making it a cozy traditional feel. So I'm excited about that.
Cool.
Yeah. Golds have been a thing, satin brass for a long time, but there's other things coming out now that are like a deeper finish, like a mix between a brass and a bronze.
Okay.
So everything's going a little bit warmer. The color of the year of 2025, not my favorite. Use it sparingly.
What's that called? Do you know?
I don't remember.
Mocha mousse.
Mocha mousse.
Mocha mousse.
I was talking to somebody else, and it's like, how now, brown cow? It's just so bleh. Come up with something better.
Yeah. That's funny.
Sorry.
Okay, so we're going to go on to the game segment, and it's a game of Would You Rather. So I'll start it, and then we can just like alternate or whatever.
Super.
Okay. Would you rather have an unlimited budget but only work with difficult clients, or have amazing clients but work with a tight budget? That's a tough one.
It's a tough one. We're in California. Let's all remember that. Why did you put these questions together? Okay. In a perfect world, I would love amazing clients with tough budgets.
Okay.
I want to work with people that want to work with us, and I want to work with nice people, good people. I don't want to work with someone who doesn't believe in the people that they hire to do their project. If you don't have trust in the people you're hiring, don't hire those people. If you're just a non-trusting person, do it yourself. Nobody wants it. I'm going to be very harsh here. We've had a lot of really difficult opportunities, and I've not been a no person, but this is why I'm learning no. Not everyone is made to work with everyone. You have to know your limits. You have to know who you are, and you have to know who you want to work with. This is both on our side and the client side. If you don't want to work with me, don't hire me.
Yeah.
And tell me to my face that we're not a good fit. I am okay with it. I have a strong backbone. I won't cry.
And you can get a sense of that pretty quick, right? I mean, design consultation, even maybe the phone call, like the initial phone call.
Yeah, if the client's not getting good vibes from me, if I'm not getting good vibes, and we're both thinking, or each one of us is thinking that maybe there's something just not right here, it's okay to say, you know what, thank you for your time. I don't think this is right for us. Yeah. That's why we do a 30-minute free Zoom call to start, is so that we can get that feeling for each other. It's not so you can turn your laptop around and I can walk through your space. It's so that we can talk about your project, get to know the process a little bit more. I can get to know you a little bit more, and we can decide collaboratively if we're a good fit to move forward. Yeah. Cool. I know a lot of people want to work with clients with unlimited budgets, but if I'm going to have a heart attack from it, maybe not. Have a great night. Thank you. That might sound harsh and that might turn people off, but it is what it is. It's the real world.
It is.
Okay. My turn?
Sure.
Okay. Would you rather have the ability to read your clients' minds, but they can also read yours, or only communicate through intermediaries? Ooh, that's like the telephone game. Sorry. Okay.
Or only communicate through
intermediaries.
What's that?
Like a third party.
Oh. I mean, I think I'm like you. You know, I wear my emotion on my sleeve. So if I know what the client's thinking, but they know what I'm thinking also, I mean, I don't know. That's a tough one too.
You're gonna make me answer this one? Okay. I'm just having a feisty day. Okay. You don't want to know what's in here. I would feel for you. I'm super judgy, and usually you're going to see my thoughts on my face anyway, but I've got a lot of not great thoughts going on in here. You don't want to be in here. Nope. I'm a squirrel. I have ADHD. I'm probably thinking I wouldn't go with that color, but it's your house, not mine. So I'm going to tell you, we'll make it work. It's going to be hard. I can't believe we're live. Okay. Would you rather have unlimited coffee, but only work at night, or unlimited snacks, but only work in the early in the morning?
Oh, well, I know how you're going to answer this. I'm a morning guy. I don't need coffee, but I need snacks. So I would definitely go for that. I can only have like one cup of coffee. Otherwise, I'm like, meh, get all crazy.
If you had one snack to choose from, I'm digressing on the question.
Oh,
what
gosh.
would it be?
Oh.
He's a foodie.
I really like breakfast food. So if it were like a snack, I would say like breakfast bagels of some sort. I consider that a snack. It's not like a meal.
Sausage and eggs?
Well, that's like a meal. That's not like a snack to me.
Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, that would be great. I would eat that all day too.
A bagel is a meal.
Oh, it's like a snack. That's tiny.
You can eat it for breakfast.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a snack.
I like
for
food
him.
a lot.
Every morning he makes
Oh,
you're
no,
next.
no.
I have to answer it too.
Yeah.
Every morning when he's home and he makes breakfast, it's scrambled eggs, sausage. If we have bacon, it's bacon, and then sometimes he'll do a bagel sandwich.
Well,
That's why
with
the
all
bagel
those
is a snack.
ingredients on it. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
All night with coffee, unlimited.
Oh, yeah. No,
I don't need
knew
food.
that.
I just need coffee.
Yep. You're 18 cups a day. Are you up to 19 now?
No. How many did I have today?
You were drinking one when I got here earlier.
Yeah, I was. And there's 2 coffee mugs on my desk because I forgot I had one in there already. I had one at home, and then you poured me some, but I
You
was
didn't
too
have
busy and
any
I
of
was
it.
running late.
Yep.
And then I had one at Real, 2 at Real, because I made one here, walked with it, and then made one at Real. So that's 3 before 10. And then I had one when I got back. And then I had one when you got here. So I've only had 5.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Right,
But
you're cutting back.
We have to take the Mr. Coffee this weekend because I can't do Mr. Keurig.
We'll be fine.
It's like mud water.
Okay. Next one. Would you rather design an entire house in 24 hours with a full team, or take 6 months to design one room completely by yourself?
6 months to design one room completely by myself. It's methodical. It's thought through. If you rush through it overnight and you have that many people, someone's not communicating and shit's going to go wrong.
I thought you would go the other way.
Do it right the first time or don't bother doing it at all.
Yeah. I thought you would have more said to collaborate with a team.
I love my team.
Yeah.
But if you're rushing it in one night to design an entire house,
Sure.
someone's not going to
Something's
talk to
gonna
somebody.
happen.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're going to spec the wrong thing. You won't put the electrical in the right spot. You've got change orders. It's a mess.
There you go. Okay. Here, I'll ask you the last one too. And then we can both answer it. Would you rather build a dream home from scratch, taking 2 years to complete it, or renovate an existing home in 6 months, but have to compromise on some design choices?
New home. Take 2 years.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that would be fun.
Great things come with patience.
Yeah. We haven't done a full home build yet from the ground up, but
No.
I'm looking forward to the day that we do.
I know. It's just a completely different feeling. And you already know what's going to be in the wall because you're designing that.
Yep.
And less change orders.
Less unknowns. You open
less
up a wall
unknowns.
and, there's whatever the case may be.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And a full hidden pantry. I mean, you get to put that in there and
Yeah.
you don't have to knock a wall down and do these ridiculous footings. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. Full home build, 2 years, do it right. Make it exactly what the client is looking for. Be methodical.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm all for that.
I love new construction. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I don't know what we have on tap for the next podcast. I mean, your guess is as good as mine, but I think we have some really great stuff in store. I hope people like listening to us banter back and forth because that's really what these are.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know, I'm looking forward to the whiskey and cheese board. That's going to be great.
Yeah. What kind of cheeses? Like a Gouda?
Blue cheese. I love blue cheese.
It's so gross. It
Moldier
smells like
the better.
mold.
Yes.
My sister did this science project in high school, and she had to grow mold on cheese. Cheese is mold, people. And blue cheese just has more, and it smells like feet.
Tastes so good.
So gross.
When you guys do it, you'll have to have him put together a special board for you.
Yes.
You guys won't know the cheeses that are
Oh, it'll be like a blind taste.
like a blind taste.
Oh, I like that.
I love that idea.
Like listen to a little thing where he talks about the cheese or something. I don't know.
Oh, that's a really good idea. I like
A
that.
little blind taste test with cheese.
I love that idea.
Wash down with a swig of whiskey after each one.
Oh,
Cleanse
yeah.
the palate.
Cleanse the palate. Yeah, I like it.
Now we're talking.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for listening in on our date night podcast. Stay tuned and follow us if you want to get upcoming trends and banter and conversations and just a lot of bullshit. Between a married couple trying to build a business together, stay married, raise a family, good humans, and dogs.
Cheers to that. We didn't cheers earlier.
We didn't cheers.
And you're empty. That's
Cheers to an
big
awkward
faux pas.
ending. Big faux pas.